I'd like to call this meeting of Palmyra Borough Council to order. Would everyone please rise for Pledge of Allegiance, a moment of silence for the armed services.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. There you go. Can we please have roll call?
Counselor Andrews,
Present.
Counselor Catalani,
Here.
Counselor Flegel,
Here.
Counselor Caroli. Here. Counselor Rydell, Counselor Shashay,
Here.
Counselor Scheer,
Here.
Mayor Miller.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay. Just a reminder for everyone to please silence all cellular devices during the meeting. And council members, please turn on your microphones if you haven't already, and move your microphones a little closer, please, to yourselves. All right. No special visitors scheduled, which takes us to public comment period number 1. If you could please step to the microphone, state your name and address for the record, and try to limit your comments to 5 minutes. Anybody? Nobody? Okay. All right. Closing public comment period number 1. Moving on to the consent calendar. Approve the minutes of the November 25th, 2025 Borough Council meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. All right, that takes us to the action and discussion items. First item up is formal complaint concerning the Borough Council social media accounts. Discussion on if appropriate. The suggested motion is to state formally that Palmyra Borough Council does not operate and maintain any official social media accounts. Any opinions expressed by or through individual Borough Council members' social media accounts are not authorized by Palmyra Borough Council and are not official policy statements or actions of the Borough of Palmyra. Any discussion?
Yeah, I'll just say this, is that regardless of what was said, on his page, if you look, it does say any post on this page is my own opinion and for myself, and is not the expression opinion of the statement from the Palmyra Borough Council or the council itself. So it does state that.
Whose,
What?
page are you referring to?
Marcus right now for
Thank
Palmyra
you.
Borough Council.
Okay.
So listen, doesn't matter if I agree with it or not. I'm just staying out points because I think the facts are the facts, and it does state that right there on his page, and it has been like that since the beginning. So whoever wrote this complaint should see that. So these aren't the expressions of Palmyra Borough Council or any of council. It states it right there. So, I mean, I don't know what the motion really does when it already states it on his page. So, but if it didn't state it, then that's one thing, but it does state that. So if it didn't, then yes, we should do this, but it does state that.
Well, I think we should do it anyway.
But it states it right there.
I'm not,
Right, I'm not disputing that
yeah,
either.
I'm not disputing that,
But
but it
then
might be good for future.
But then anyone can come out and say that against anybody who has statements like that. And like if you had a page for Palmyra Borough Council, or you did, and you said, oh, these are,
Well, I can tell
my
you if
own.
I had a page, I wouldn't be blocking people from it.
Neither would I.
I'm not saying what I agree or not, but everyone has the right to do what they want on social media. But it's very important for you to have that,
Agreed.
have that on there, and he does have it on there. So what she's saying then as her complaint is more of a personal complaint against him, not as so much of what he's saying is, oh, Palmyra Borough Council, and does this express all of us? Because it doesn't, because he states it on his profile. Now, if he didn't, hey, we can pass then whatever, because then that is what's right, and it's to do what is right, but it states it right there on his page. So this is more of a personal complaint that should be handled outside of here. This isn't like a personal court. That is more of a personal complaint that she has because she got blocked.
It's a him.
It's a
Or
him.
him, sorry.
Yeah,
You,
yeah. Yeah.
sorry. Well,
And I'm looking at it two ways. This
Protects the
This
borough.
protects
Yeah,
the
protects the
borough
borough.
and council members.
Has nothing to
Has-
do with
yeah.
what's going on.
No,
I
it
know,
doesn't.
but I'm
This
just
is a
saying,
recommendation from your solicitor.
Yeah.
even if he already has that on the page.
He
But-
has that on
but-
the page
but-
because
Right.
when he first started that page, I made that recommendation to
No, I
him.
remember that, but it's on there, and I'm just saying, if
But
he
this
didn't
could
have it
be
on
for
there.
anybody in the future too.
Absolutely.
I'm looking at it two different ways. Because I'm looking at it two different ways. This protects the borough and council for future, for anybody. Say, well, it would be stupid of me to start a borough council page when I'm getting off, but anybody in the
same.
future who does one,
Yeah,
Great.
But-
it protects the borough and the other council members.
so then.
We're not just looking
Yeah,
at this
not this
incident.
incident.
We're looking from here forward.
But, so then, does anyone need to put that on their page then, like how Marcus has it on his,
Well, you should.
his expression? Because
If
you
you're
have
going
his
to
password.
comment on borough things, you should have that on your page. But this protects the council as a whole. The motion goes on record.
Okay, I'm just curious, because
Well, the difference is Marcus identified his for borough council.
oh, right.
Okay,
But-
if
but-
it's
but any-
Anthony Catalani's and you're not commenting on anything to do with the borough, which you shouldn't be,
Which I'm not.
then you don't have to put that on your page. But if you're going to
Right.
I don't
represent,
have anything on my page, but I stay away from commenting on borough issues, no
Right.
matter
No,
how
I get all that, I think that's just
much
that.
I want to. I don't.
I think the thing though is that if someone has a page, just like anyone does, like state reps, anybody, they have those comments, or you can tell the difference of it. And Marcus had that statement, because I do remember that. So that should clarify anything else, unfortunately, I guess, the individual got blocked, and, that I think is a different channel, that's something totally separate. I think the matters is whatever he says, it does not is how we think or feel, some of us, or whatever. Because he does indicate that there. If you're worried about future things, I mean, I don't even know what tomorrow's gonna hold. So, I mean,
Right,
I mean,
so
thi-
this
Right.
point of
motion
this.
protects the
But-
borough and other council members.
Right.
So I'm looking at
So-
it two different things. One is this motion. This,
Which is on the floor.
yes, so moved.
what, do we have a second? Okay, thank you, Nancy.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Okay.
Now, since I don't have long to be on this council, I'm going to comment on this.
Okay.
As a council member, we are open to critique from our constituents. If you're going to have a council member page, then I think you should listen to, we have to make a decision based on the facts in front of us, but I don't think that it's right to block people from expressing their either support or non-support of issues if you're posting as a council member. So that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Yeah, no, I think there's different factors you could do, like hide the post if you don't agree. There's certain things, but you shouldn't like block somebody unless they're harassing you and things of that nature.
It's also called just don't comment and move on. You don't have to keep the conversation going.
Yeah.
But, moving on. Bid award, 2026 street paving. Discussion on if appropriate. Suggested motion to authorize the borough manager to issue a notice of intent to award a contract to Penzi Supply, 2400 Thea Drive, Suite 3A, Harrisburg, PA 17110, in the amount of $485,609.53 for the base bid, $234,551.13 for the alternate bid number 1, and $41,418.33 for the alternate bid number 2. Did I say 41,000?
Yeah, it's good.
I mean, I know I'm ready for Christmas break, but.
Since
Okay.
the,
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna explain, since the paving bids were kind of, they relate to the budget, obviously. Where we stand right now with the budget is we're $252,871 short. So that's the reason we bid this way, because I'd like to get all the paving done, but if council's not comfortable with doing all that paving, you have an option to, if you get rid of South Duke Street, you're all but balanced. And then there's a couple other things I can suggest to get you completely balanced, where there would be no tax increase needed.
That's what I was gonna say, because it looks like we're about, not quite 130 under what was in the budget.
Forgot my budget.
Well, I'm definitely for the parking lot to not be done.
The southeast,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
same.
mean, I hate to put it off, but
I don't think,
You'll never get it cheaper.
I know.
You'll never
I know,
get
because
it
they're,
cheaper.
they'll all be.
And you can actually
Yeah.
do it and still balance the budget by taking other things out.
I don't think we.
Our recommendation from a staff perspective is to do it.
Okay, so give me other options.
Remove Duke Street and the mains and Elm Street. There's your balance,
You're
your all
upset.
but balanced budget.
But there again,
Come back
think
next
a
year.
street's not, yeah, but next year there's gonna be 5 more streets that need to be paved.
Ain't never gonna end.
No, I know.
Five
I'm
more
just thinking
streets
the
after that
street
next year.
paving is a little more important than a
This
parking
almost,
lot
I mean,
paving.
this, don't take this the wrong way, but this has been, it's almost a home run by taking out that one street, literally. or
Versus a
two
parking
street.
lot is,
And the parking lot's
this
small,
much.
it's cheap, and it's for the park.
that's true.
And you're actually constructing, like, there's excavation and stone base and everything for that
For
parking lot. You'll be-
$41,000?
Yeah, you're never gonna, that's
Never gonna.
not bad.
And
If,
That makes it easier to maintain too, right?
oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
snow.
Yep,
Yeah.
less trip hazards.
Yep.
so you guys are for taking out street paving and keeping the parking lot paving?
Well, it's 41, well, I'm taking out $234,000
No,
versus 41,000.
believe me, I'm fine with the 234,000 coming out. I'm more concerned about a street not being paved and a parking lot being paved.
But I like the point, though, they made with, it probably will never be this rate again, and also be better for maintain, and there's a lot of events that go on there, like sporting events, softball, and
How bad is that road? That South Duke?
South Duke, I mean, we have worse roads. I mean, another year on that road isn't gonna be horrible.
Jane, I need the calculator.
But what's, oh,
This is bigger buttons,
but I'm assuming there's
easier.
5, 6 roads in next year's budget, then, in 2027's budget. So if you add it
Well, South
in
Duke
then,
and East Main will be in.
yeah.
Yeah, South Duke would be one. And
But
we're gonna have
it's
to.
not our problem, it's not
I'm just
it is our
kidding.
problem,
I'm just
because I pay taxes in this borough too.
well, but I think the point though is that if they came back another time to do the Southeast Park, like, would you say that could be up to like
I don't like this
200,000?
calculator, I changed my mind.
Like, say you did the Southeast Park another time, we wouldn't get.
It'll be
41.
double.
Yeah.
Easy.
Right, yeah. So,
And it was because they were already situated in that area.
Priorities are right there.
you look at that.
So,
Okay, if we do the
I
southeast,
suggest take them both out, but
if we take out the southeast park, we still have to find 211,453, roughly. If we take out Duke Street, we only have to find 18,320, roughly.
well, I like that.
I'm just saying.
Again, my concern is a road versus a parking lot.
So, yeah, to
I'm looking
balance
at
your
the money.
budget, if you take out the 2 alternates, you're balanced. If you
That's
wanna
what I was gonna
do the
suggest.
This is
parking
a
lot,
difference
because it's probably
from
not gonna be
this.
cheaper,
If we take this
we
out, then we
can-
have a
Oh,
difference.
Discuss
Oh,
the-
absolutely, yeah. Gotcha. I'm with you. Sorry.
You're making me think I'm losing my mind.
We talked about, Public Works needs 2 bodies. And next year, we have the opportunity to have 2 seasonal people, guaranteed. So we can do that and eliminate the full-time position for just next year. And then revisit the full-timer for the following year, and then you're balanced also. And you'd actually have a little bit left over, which would be good for the general fund anyway, so.
Or if we get
Is,
rid of the
is that okay with Public Works?
That's
Generally?
what they actually.
Elijah's recommendation was that.
They
Oh,
they
okay.
watched the last meeting and they said they want 2 bodies. So however best to do that, and next year, he knows he has 2 people that he can bring in here for the seasonal employees.
Oh, that's great.
Thank him for that.
Okay.
So,
Thank him for that.
Balances
Yeah,
it, so
thank
it
you.
kind of writes
He's
itself.
good. I mean,
He's doing well.
yeah.
So you could.
So we
give
can either
alternate
take
bid
the 2
number 1.
alternates out and be balanced, or we could keep in Southeast Park, the parking lot.
And still be balanced.
And have 2 part-timers instead of a full-timer.
So be balanced.
Like it?
I like it.
Yeah, I like that.
Done.
Not sure what that will do to next year's paving schedule, but
Well,
We'll just put one. it's
gives us
gonna
time to
put-
figure it
Yeah.
out.
Okay, so what
Do
are
we
we
need
doing
a
again?
motion?
What are we doing again?
All in, it would be 0.5.
Yeah, right now you're at 0.5 mils increase if you did everything.
So what did we just say we're gonna do?
Get
Could
rid of
do?
alternate
take
bid
out
number one.
alternate,
South Duke.
the,
Bid number 1.
Yeah,
and get
alternate one.
And
Rid
get
of the full-time and do 2 part-time. Got it.
That puts you in a surplus.
There's no increase.
Nope.
Which at 0.5 is actually a lot better than where you were when we started this budget discussion.
yes, absolutely.
I'll just figure it out. You need a motion for that? Need to
I
amend?
just need a
your
motion for
changes.
the paving bids, that's all. Yeah.
Okay, so the suggested motion would be to authorize the borough manager to issue a notice of intent to award a contract to Penzi Supply in the amount of $485,609.53 for the base bid and $41,418.33 for the alternate bid too, right? Okay, I'll second it,
Who did the motion?
Nancy.
Nancy?
and I seconded it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Do you need a motion for the not filling the full-time and the 2 part-times, or we're good to go? We can
I'll
keep
just,
going?
I'll
That'll be
prepare the
next
final
part.
budget that way, and it'll be good to go.
And that-
Thank Elijah for his recommendation.
Yeah.
If he's watching, thank you.
Oh, no, today is his birthday and he's 21.
Oh, he better
He's
not be
not
watching.
watching
He
this
better
at
not
all.
be watching.
watching the council meeting.
He's not watching this.
He better not be. All right, that takes us to the 2026 budget discussion, preliminary to final.
The only other question I had for sure is what we're doing with the fire tech situation. From what I understand, I believe North Londonderry is on board with the increased incentive program and everything. So that would be your 0.17 mil increase on the fire tax.
Anybody against it?
I don't have a problem with it.
I don't either. I mean, it does, well, I put everything into dollars that I can understand, according to the house I own. And it's 32 and change for my house. And fire protection is well worth that. Absolutely.
So I'll make the motion to go forward to match North Londonderry's.
I'll second it. I'm just giving you a chance to catch up.
Oh, thank you.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
I'm feeling the love.
There was one. Did you catch?
No?
There was one no. Okay. All right.
Best budget ever.
Any other budget discussion that we need to do? Roger?
I don't have anything unless council does.
Nancy? Jane?
No, thank you. Although, thank you.
Okay, all right. President's report?
Sorry, go ahead.
No. Do you have something?
I thought you were ready to go to this. I'm jumping the gun again.
We're at 9A.
I've been here since 8 o'clock.
Okay, I don't think I have anything. I want to thank the fire company members that are here tonight. I want you all to know that I fully support every one of you and everything that you do. Okay? I think most of you know that, but thought it would, wouldn't hurt to say it. Okay. Mayor's report.
Okay, folks. We did have some little Christmas-type events in town today, or not today, but over Saturday. And, we have a beautiful tree out there. It worked well, and I wanted to say that for Palmyra Borough, that was a great event to see, the lighting of the town and for the Santa Claus things. That was great. For the Borough Council, the work that it goes in, and I've tried to explain this many times before, how difficult it is to put forth the budget for the next year. And we have been fortunate, I've explained this before, about the management has worked really hard not to put excessive amounts to that. So I think you've done a very, very exceptional job for taking a look at that budget. So that was a big plus as well. To the fire department, my feelings for you is astronomically high, and I want to thank you all for everything that you do, and I appreciate it all. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, that takes us to the financial report. Financial statement as of November 30th will be available at the next meeting. And that takes us to the delinquent sewer and refuse account report.
I was guilty of turning the page before you got to your reports,
good.
so.
It's all good.
Looks good.
Yeah.
I mean, we're starting to see some trends.
Well, and the differences went down.
It went
So,
down.
yes.
It went down about $2,000
So
from
that's-
83 to 81 over the year for this particular quarter, but, we're still working diligently.
I'll just remind everybody that that thing was like $300,000 when you guys first started working on
Yep,
it, so.
it sure was. And there are times we are not people's favorite, but comes with a job.
Everybody always loves us.
Fire department. The monthly report for November was emailed December 2nd. Questions on that? Anybody? Anybody? Okay. Lifeline EMS report for October was, sure can.
Andy?
Yes, buddy, I'm actually getting the podium for it. I prepared some statements in regards to Councilmember Rydell's social media posts to basically make sure all the errors and false facts he posted were corrected, because obviously, as a member of Borough Council, what he posts is heard by many people. So he's not here, unfortunately, so I'll have to alter this slightly, but I'm still going to bring all those up. I'm actually going to start, everyone in this room knows who I am. However, the last borough meeting had over 1,000 views on YouTube and garnered dozens and dozens and dozens of social media posts. A lot of people don't know who I am, don't know who we are. So my name is David Dugan, Chief of Citizens Fire Company. We go by Palmyra Fire Department. I've been chief now for 20 years. The department was founded in 1891. We have served Palmyra Borough and North Londonderry Township since then. The borough first, the township once it was founded. 100% volunteer to this day. The department, myself, Andy, our president, who's here, knows how fortunate we are for the financial support we receive from the borough and the township. It does not go unnoticed. Every member who's here tonight will tell you several times each year, we literally write the numbers up on the board so the members know how much we are receiving. There's many departments who are not as fortunate as we are. Fundraising came up at the last meeting. In regards to fundraising, when I first joined back in 1993, fundraising was an active part of the fire department. The fire department also had many more members than they do today. And in addition to that, we had auxiliary members who ran and coordinated almost all of the fundraisers. Since I became chief and moved up through the ranks, what has been asked of the volunteers and of the department has changed dramatically, and the number of volunteers has decreased while the volunteer members have never been asked to do more. In the early 2000s, the auxiliary members of the fire department disbanded on their own. It was not an act of the fire department. It was an act due to lack of membership and interest. Also, the call volume and other burdens placed on the volunteers has obviously continued to increase. The fire department has always used, even before my time within the department, as 20% activity more for emergency calls as the benchmark. As of December 2nd, 2025, the department has 17 members, only 17, with 20% or higher call volume. In addition to that, the department has 4 members who only serve in administrative roles, such as our treasurer, secretary. In regards to some of the social media posts, I need to go over. They were in regards to myself, how I failed to see the bigger picture, how I failed to work with other departments. I can vouch for the department myself, several members who have attended numerous fire commission meetings, the borough manager, Roger, who has attended, I don't know what we did, Roger, hundreds of meetings with other surrounding fire departments, municipalities, governments, state representative, senators, you name it, we've met with them. The purpose of those meetings was to look beyond Palmyra. What is the better answer? How can we make this work better for not only our community, but also for the communities around us? In 2013, the borough and township and the fire department all took part in a fire study. The fire study led to a great working relationship with both municipalities. It led to a new fire station being built in 2017, joint apparatus fund funded by both the borough and the township. And they increased the joint apparatus fund to try to keep up with the ever-rising cost of fire apparatus. The incentive program was also started to help keep the volunteers last longer. It was a way to, lack of a better term, band-aid the lack of volunteerism, not only here, but across the state, across the country, to keep volunteers active, to save everyone a lot of money. A key part of the study came out in 2013, and is in the study, if you haven't read it, please do so, stated the members of the Citizens Fire Company should do no fundraising. The study actually said that time should be spent with the fire department, doing fire department activities, training, or more importantly, with our families. While call volume is an essential part of the department, the hours volunteered each year, besides emergency calls, is amazing. As of December 2nd of this year, the members of the department volunteered, and I always stress this number is documented, straight from our computer. Members do way more than this, they just don't document their time. Just shy of 1,200 hours has been spent on station apparatus maintenance and cleaning. The live-in members have volunteered on top of everything else, an additional 716 hours. 56 hours of fire prevention was done to the community free of charge. 329 administrative hours, that's bookkeeping, that's meetings, an additional 140 hours of meetings. And we track staffing as part of the department, part of our incentive program. As of that date, 35,194 hours have been logged for staffing, meaning somebody's been in the fire station during those hours. In regards to, as Councilor Idell posted, the heated discussion him and I had, which I don't consider that to be even somewhat of a heated discussion. And I have a note here. I know Councilmember Kalani brought this up. And I understand that Marcus may have on his page about not, his words don't go with, have nothing to do with Borough Council. However, if you're going to use Marcus Rydell for Borough Council, then it's pretty much assumed that you're speaking on behalf of Borough Council. It'd be the same if it was Dave Dugan versus Dave Dugan, Chief of Palmyra Fire Department. I'd like to point out that I and other administrative members and regular members of the department have received dozens of messages, phone calls, and even being stopped in public, no identifying clothing on at all, stopped by citizens of the community, literally stating, "We have your back," that you should do no fundraising, and then what happened at last meeting was not acceptable. These next comments come directly from Councilor Rydell's social media posts, and these are things that I am bringing up because what he posted is not accurate. So he posted about some of these, because he's not here, I can't ask him unfortunately, but he posted about, obviously we don't do fundraising, but we actually do a fund drive. We do a fund drive mailer every year, which does take time from the department side. The fund drive nets us on a very good year by $80,000, but that is only a 29% return. So 29% total borough and township population that contribute to the fund drive. It's an astronomical amount of money, and we're very appreciative of that. However, that's about 29% return. We use a third-party company, so we can easily track this. I'd also like to point out, in regards to fundraising, within the past week, Colonial Park Fire Department in Lower Paxton Township canceled their Christmas tree sale due to lack of membership. And also, there's another fire department, I won't say the name because it hasn't come out yet, but the chief just told me a couple of days ago, they're stopping their fundraising due to lack of volunteers. It's a local department. I'll skip it, all right. So, Councilor Rydell had put on there about workers' compensation, which is a cost that the fire department causes. However, workers' compensation is mandated by the state of Pennsylvania. So in the state of Pennsylvania, every municipality must pay the workers' compensation of the fire department who they have named to protect them 100%. So while that is a cost to the department, that is not a cost that we generate. Also, I'd like to point out the cost of workers' compensation increased tremendously. Brenda, I can't even come up with a percentage. After Act 46 came out, the Firefighter Cancer Presumption Act. Again, out of our control. Even if Borough Council decided that Palmyra Fire Department would not be their fire department, they would still be legally responsible to pay that amount to any fire department who is serving in the community. He also posted that the vehicle fuel cost, 2024, was $9,359. That is paid for by the borough. That is inaccurate. We do use Palmyra Borough fuel pumps. It is obviously tracked by the computer system. We are invoiced for it, and we pay it in full. He added fire hydrants under us. So the fire hydrants, 2024, were $33,000.16 per him. I'd like to remind Borough Council that we have no control over the fire hydrants. you have no control over the fire hydrants. Pennsylvania American Water owns their water system, owns their fire hydrants. They charge every municipality a fee, which is added on to a tax, for the fire hydrants. So I'm not sure how the Palmyra Fire Department got blamed for the fire hydrants, as that's a cost. That is not anything that the department has anything to do with. It has Pennsylvania American Water. And so incentive program, some of the numbers are off slightly, but I'd like to point out that it's split 50-50 between North Londonderry Township and Palmyra Borough. And again, it's a Band-Aid. That's all the incentive program is. It's a Band-Aid to the next step. He pointed out capital purchases, and he made the comment, payments on the borough-owned fire station are rising. First, I'd like to correct, it is not a borough-owned fire station. The fire station is owned by the fire department. The mortgage is gracefully paid for 100% by the borough and the township. We are extremely fortunate for that. However, the station itself is owned by the fire department. As such, the fire department alone pays all maintenance, utilities, anything related to the building is 100% paid for by the fire department, not the municipalities. The increase also is due to the interest rate being negotiated down, again, out of our control, which is now going back to normal interest rates. The apparatus fund, which is $75,000 per municipality, which is an awesome amount of money. Again, just so that's clear, the joint apparatus fund is held by the borough. It is 50-50 with the township. It can only be used under 3 primary pieces of apparatus, no support apparatus. It can only be used for purchase of apparatus or major, like our rescue engine was just refurbed. However, the money must be approved to be spent by the borough and township prior to it being spent. We don't have the access, nor do we want the access to just use the money for that. But even at the $75,000 each, the next piece of apparatus that we have due for replacement is our wagon, which in 2025 is going to, the estimated cost is just under $1.2 million. The vehicle, if it stays on track, will not be ordered until sometime in 2027, hopefully arrive by 2030. How much it will be in 2030, I cannot tell you because they do not lock pricing in. Councilor Adele also posted in there about the new Firefighter One program, require 88 hours of training under NFPA 1010, plus additional modules for support and advanced skills. This means every volunteer firefighter who wants to go inside a burning building must commit more time than ever before. Recruitment and retention will be harder, and the burden on volunteers will grow. That is an actual truthful statement. However, it goes against what he said about we should have time for fundraising. So I was kind of confused. I wanted to ask him to clarify his statement. And again, if he's at the next meeting, I'll ask him again, because he clearly stated an absolutely true statement. The amount of burden of training put upon us is increasing exponentially every single year. Yet somehow, we are supposed to find more time to do fundraising, as he stated. He also commented, people need to get off their high horses, stop thinking one company is better than another, let old rivalries die. Fire companies must work together or we're going to have a major problem. I can speak for some of the older firefighters in the room especially, that our relationships with all the departments around us have never been better. I talk not every day, but I talk almost weekly with most of the chiefs around us. We have an excellent relationship. So I'm not even sure where that comment came from. Again, I'll ask him that next meeting. Actually, I'm gonna put a check mark here next to it. I'll ask him when he's at the next meeting. And again, back to my point with Roger being drugged to all these meetings, we have tried over and over and over so many solutions with little positive results. He stated, and here's the question that residents should be asking, why was Palmyra not included in the recent Lebanon County fire study? It was not a county fire study. It was a study led by North Cornwall Township, and they only included the departments that immediately abut North Cornwall Township, hence why we were not invited. If we had been invited, because I was in contact with their chief, we would have 100% taken part in the study. but we were not invited because we don't abut North Cornwall Township. So again, that's why. He also stated alternatively the cost to the borough would cost the borough $4 million annually. While that number has been talked about, $4 million is for a complete career, total staffed, a very put together fire department. That is not an entry level paid fire department on any level. Also like to point out that at no time has a discussion ever been that all of this is on Palmyra Borough. It has always been a discussion split between North Londonderry Township and Palmyra Borough. The last couple of years, the conversation has even shifted to let's look outside the borough and township regionally to do even more cost sharing, to get that number way down and and to make it more affordable to everybody. He stated Palmyra can't afford a paid fire department, can't afford not to have a fire department first, but also I'd like to remind everyone that the members of the fire department, we're taxpayers as well. So borough residents, I'm a township resident, when they raise their taxes, I pay my taxes, just like all the members do. So I think people forget sometimes that we're residents as well. So things that affect the municipalities, affect the fire department cost-wise, also affect us. We're paying for it as well. He stated, I will continue to fight for transparency, accountability, and sustainability because that's what protects taxpayers, renters, businesses, and preserves nutrition of the volunteer fire service. I honestly don't know how our department can be more transparent to the government officials and to the community. Just tonight, our president gave Roger our annual audit, which we paid, how much for Andy this year? $12,000. So the fire department paid $12,000 this year for the audit that is made public. Anyone who wants to see it, all the elected officials can see it, anyone in the public can see it. Because you want a number, I can give you a report, Andy can give you a report, our treasurer can give you a report. We are absolutely open. We are not closed. Our meetings are every Tuesday at the first Tuesday of every month at 7:30. They are public meetings. Anybody from the public can show up, attend the meetings. Please do so. Also pointed out, he said, the point I'm making is that fundraising doesn't have to mean piling more work on the same people or just running small barbecues. Well, then my question to him would be, I'll mark this one as well, then who's going to do it? He also stated, in regards to our department, so most departments average 200 to 400 calls a year. Palmyra has 500 to 600 calls a year, which is above average, but not in the extreme range. I do agree that that's not an extreme range, but when you break down that number, especially the number for this year, we average well over 2 calls a day. So we'll just round down and say 2 calls a day. So 2 calls a day doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're relying on volunteers to do it, that is a lot. So while there's some departments that run many more calls than we do and are volunteer, I just like to point out that that's a pretty decent number of calls. He stated, my concern is about sustainability and fairness to taxpayers. Palmyra Fire currently relies almost entirely on borough contributions, while other companies in Lebanon County area actively fundraise and bring in hundreds of thousands of dollars to support their operations. As I have already stated numerous times before, it is equal between the borough and township, everything that the fire department receives monetarily. We also rely heavily on our fund drive. We receive $30,000 from the borough and township towards our general funds, that's $60,000. Our fund drive brings in $80,000 in a good year, which is obviously, so that is actually more than we receive towards our joint operating budget from the borough and township. So I just want to make that abundantly clear. He also stated, my 35 years in the fire service, we're not okay with, in quotes, okay with 10-minute response times. On average, was closer to 4 minutes, and we had weekly in-house and state training classes standard in place. Yes, the borough is legally responsible to provide fire protection, but that does not mean it must be the closest company. So a statement, I'll mark this one as well, confused me, because if he's not okay with a 10-minute response time, however, he states we don't have to be his fire department. So if you're going to go with a neighboring fire department, will that not cause even a greater response time? He also stated that that $4 million she's referring to the career fire department that per him only Palmyra Borough will be paying for would be nearly 10 times the current budget. Well, the budget you preliminary passed is $5.2 million. So obviously $5.2 million is more than $4 million. So I'm not really sure where the 10 times number came in. Also, I'm not really sure, again, I'll mark this one. He stated, we'll triple property taxes. Again, he's not here for me to ask how he came up with his numbers. However, again, using very easy numbers, and the police chief Ray knows about this, if you look at this very easily, right? So back to the $4 million he referenced numerous times. Obviously, you break that down between two municipalities. So you're at $2 million for the borough, $2 million for the township. This is without looking at the bigger picture, which needs to happen. So obviously, what's the easiest to compare that to? Your police department, right? Your regional police department. So right now, roughly it costs an average homeowner in the borough $600 a year for police protection. So if you want that put in perspective, if just the borough and just the township did the absolute very high-end fire department, that's the number you'd be looking at. He has other numbers listed, which I'm not sure where it came from. So in conclusion, I would like to ask him this, but I'll just say it out loud anyway because he's not here. So instead of him constantly saying in his statements over and over and at meetings that the fire department costs the borough $4 million a year, why has he never said, or has it never been said, we saved the borough $3.5 million a year? As I stated, again, he's not here unfortunately, so I'll make notes here to bring this up again. As I stated at the last meeting, per him after a heated discussion, which was not heated, on any level, I brought to his attention his time on council. He's done nothing to educate himself with his own fire department. Since that meeting, he's done nothing to educate himself about his own fire department. So again, I encourage him, anyone on Borough Council, anyone in the community, please reach out to us. We're very easy to get a hold of. Come have a tour, talk to anybody, come to a meeting, ask questions. And again, and then I would ask him if but he's not here, so I'll just, as a statement, I'll say it again. Next month when he's here, hopefully, and as he has stated dozens of times at meetings and social media posts, with his 35 years of fire experience, training classes, getting online fundraising in place for the state, his extensive fundraising knowledge, why has he never applied to our fire department to help us? So, thank you for your time. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you very much, Chief.
Great, so some of you may be wondering why I left him give such an extensive summary, history, whatever you want to call it. When wrong information or misinformation is spoken or even passed along, and people hear it, wrong images or wrong thoughts of groups, people, etc., can start being formulated. Because it dealt with the fire company, and because the fire company is so vital to the borough of Palmyra, I wanted to make sure that the facts were spoken tonight so that anybody listening that was confused after the meeting 2 weeks ago by what was said would get a clearer picture of what, contact them. Okay, for those listening at home,
Well, in his comments, he also said he would be coming back in the future. But my only question that I have, I don't know why this person's not here. Has he said to anybody that he's considering retiring?
Anything else for fire department or E EMS? Okay. All right, that takes us to Western Lebanon County Regional Police Department. Chief Winters.
I have nothing, unless you guys have something for me.
October? November? It should be November, right? Yeah, did not meet in November. Takes us to Public Works Department. Superintendent's report, everybody has that in front of them. Any questions? The tree and the snowflakes look very nice.
They
with their new
do.
bulbs.
Everything
I
looks
like
good.
it. Nice and even. Okay. Anything? No? Okay. Borough Properties. Roger, that's your call. That's your stuff.
I don't think we have anything to report. One thing on 40 East Front Street, we're waiting for the prospective people that bought the property to get us the settlement documents for the solicitor review, and then we'll be able to do the paperwork and transfer the property. So that's in the works. I just wanted you to be aware of that.
Any idea of when that would be done?
I don't know.
Like, any idea of when?
Well, they
We're
had
getting-
60
We're getting
days.
close to Christmas now,
Yeah,
so.
yeah, they had 60
Yeah.
days according to the agreement, but,
No, we're on
know.
the 60 days up.
January.
January,
Oh.
yeah.
No, we're well within good.